We are live. We are live and direct. What's good, good people? I am Travail C.W. Lynch, Mr. What. You guys know what it is. You guys know where you is. It is day 28, 31 days of prosperous perspectives, ideas that are going to help you to see a more successful 2022, perspectives that are going to help you to have a more prosperous 2022. If I can get my words together. All right, guys, let's jump into today's idea. Control the conversation. That's right. Control the conversation. Guys, in this next year, and with every year, with every day, with every waking moment of our lives, there is this internal chatter that is happening. We call it self-talk. We call it the internal conversation. We call it, the little devil with the little angel. What, however you name it, however you frame it, right? You get the idea. There is always a conversation that is happening within each and every one of us. The problem is that not many of us are conscious to it, and not many of us are conscious to how that conversation is really controlling the course of our lives. So if we don't get control over that conversation, then that conversation is going to control us. Okay. One of the ways that you can control that conversation, especially as you go into this next year, looking to achieve more success, looking to achieve your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, looking to really nail your goals and really crush those goals, as we say, a lot of times that conversation will derail you. Okay. And the way that you can control that conversation is by controlling what gets in. Okay. You can't have a conversation without information, right? It's almost like anybody else. Let's get on the phone and let's have a conversation. Well, as soon as I pick up the phone, there's something that you have to relate to me. There's something that you have to say to me. And whatever you say to me and whatever I say back, that conversation is going to be comprised of information, data that's already stored up in the mind and in the heart. And so we can only convey and communicate what's in there, right? And so you have to control what gets in. Now, I want to give you guys a very practical, personal, I don't know if you want to call it testimony, but a very practical, personal example. I used to be a b-boy. Not really. But anyway, I used to be into music, right? I used to really be into rap, had a group, and we write our raps and go around the city and we would perform and whatnot. And then, once I kind of got away from being into music on that level, right? I'm still a music lover. And so as I gave my life to God and as I began to change the way I think and really change my life, and I began to have different dreams and different ambitions, right? And so I began to be more careful about what I was listening to, right? And I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine back in the day, and this was right around the time where I was starting to make the change, but I hadn't really made the change, right? I was kind of new to this change, and I was listening to a rap song, and it had some crazy lyrics in it, right? And my friend walked up and he says, "Yo, man, why you listening to that?" And I'm like, I'm just, no big deal. I'm just listening to it. I like it. It's dope, right? And I think I gave him the classic line, "I'm just listening to the beat. I'm just listening to the beat," right? But my point was, and what his point was, man, what you're listening to is getting in, right? Like they ain't just saying lyrics, they ain't just saying words. When you're listening to those words put to music, and now you're saying those words back to yourself, and you're memorizing those lyrics, that's getting in. And what you let in, right, affects you. it impacts you, it influences you, even on a level that you're not even aware of. Maybe you got mood swings. Maybe you feel grumpy. Maybe you always feel kind of down. And you like, yo, ain't nothing really bad happened. I mean, I don't even know why I feel like this. Well, sometimes it's because of the information that you're letting in, right? It has spiritual implications, right? And so what you're listening to impacts you. If it's negative, if it's full of violence, if it's full of something crazy, then that's going to influence just your internal environment, right? So you name it, you frame it, you put it into your own context. I don't know what it might be for you, but my point is, just with my example, I learned that I just can't listen to anything. I can't listen to anything. If I'm going to live this life for God, if I'm going to live this life for my children, for my wife, if I'm going to be about these certain things, if I'm going to create these certain things in the world, I can't be flippant. I can't be casual about the conversations that I'm having. I can't just let any old information in and think that I'm going to stay focused and be diligent about the things of God, or about the kingdom of God, or about the things that are in my heart that I want to create, because that conversation filled with that content that came from that song, that's going to influence me and is going to impact me in a negative way. So my encouragement to you is, what is it for you? Maybe it's the music that you're listening to. You might need to change it up this year. Maybe it's the people that you speak to most oftenly, right? Most often, because those people are negative. And every time you get around them, you feel like, man, I feel like I'm being zapped of my energy. Maybe I'm feeling drained, right? Maybe it's things that you're watching, right? Maybe it's certain shows or just certain content that you're consuming. And after you consume it, after you watch it, you feel kind of icky. You feel kind of, right? Feel some type of way. Those are the clues, guys, right? If you're like vibrating on a high level, right? You're like feeling good. And then you get around that music and it kind of brings you down, or you get around those people and it kind of brings you down, or you watch or listen to that content and then it kind of brings you down. That's a good clue. That's a good indicator of something that you might want to change up in this upcoming year, so that that internal conversation can be clean, that it can be comprised of information that you want to dwell on and you want to consider and you want to meditate on, right? Because what you're letting in most often, that's what's going to be regurgitated. That's what's going to be considered. That's what's going to be assessed. That's what's going to be used to have those conversations. So it's not foolproof. It's not 100%, but it's almost like the old example where you got the bucket of water, right? Colored, I don't know, colored red or something, right? And then you pour another color in, and the more you pour in, the more that color goes out, right? So it's not 100%, but it's like hey, your mind is full of stuff that maybe aren't working for you or in your best interest. You pour information in, new information. The more good stuff you allow in and the more bad stuff you don't allow in, over time the good stuff is going to overtake it, and then your mind is going to be full of good stuff that's going to cultivate good thoughts, good moods, good feelings and emotions, and that are going to work for you and help you as you move forward in this new year. So hope and pray that made sense. A little longer one today, but I hope that you enjoyed it. Hope that it made sense. Hope that it helps you in some sort of way, right? If you work it, it'll work for you. That's it, guys. Message delivered. Travell C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, your self-worth specialist, your personal perspective coach, coming at you live and direct once again with another prosperous perspective. We're doing this 31 days, guys. All right. Today is 28. Ooh, it's getting close. It's getting close. Only a few more days, guys. And then that, I don't know, was it New York when the little ball drops and Happy New Year. Boom, man. And we're going to be in 2022. All right. Hope y'all getting ready. Hope y'all prepared. All right. Love y'all. Praying for y'all. Believing in y'all. Until tomorrow, day 29. Peace. Salute.